I want to share this story that I posted. Well, I wrote it out. I posted it on a different platform, and I actually posted it on 11/22, which I find interesting. But anyway, this is how the story go. And this is about Ascension. And if you're aware of like what's going on with the planet and consciousness, this will make sense. And if you don't know, you can ask a question, and you can also do your own research. But so the story go like this that I wrote. Before I was consciously aware of Ascension, I experienced symptoms related to vertigo so bad that I went to the hospital for help. I was so dizzy and nauseous that I couldn't eat, shower, or even hold a conversation. I was reluctant to go to the hospital at the time, but I surrendered and allowed the testing process to unfold. It turned out the doctors thought I had lived many years with vertigo based on the severity of my case. I told them I had no idea what caused it and I woke up with it. I am now more aware that when our bodies anchor in more light, we can transform overnight. Doctors can do their best, but this was a spiritual thing that made no sense to them. I'm not saying it made sense to me either, though, lol. At the time, I was in college, so I assumed my extracurricular activities, gardening, were the culprit, and I needed to slow down or stop altogether. I continued living my life and even began weight training, drinking infused water, and focused on my human life. A few years later, I began having intense episodes of my hands tingling, almost like vibration, literally vibration. The episodes were so intense that sometimes it felt like my hands were getting hot. Gratefully, I wasn't even scared, or I wasn't ever scared. I actually was excited because I thought they were my X-Men mutant powers activating, and I was about to travel the multiverse like Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I also had just spent almost 2 years in a program like the Peace Corps. It's called AmeriCorps, where I learned and taught mindfulness and breathwork and visualization. So I would use that and keep my nervous system as calm as I could. Practice is key. I also began timing the vibrations duration, and it expanded from around 15 minutes to almost 2 hours over a few months. During the tingles, I would usually have to stop anything I was doing with my hands, close my eyes, and breathe, or keep my eyes open and simply observe everything and feel deeply into my body. Sometimes this was challenging since I worked in an office and felt disconnected from people and the whole idea of working. So I would sneak outside and sit in the grass, watch birds in the pond, or just stare at trees. I was feeling something on a cellular level that was novel, and it also felt like a sacred experience. So I barely talked to anybody about it until I finally got a neurologist. After many MRIs, CT scans, nerve conduction testing, and x rays, the best they could come up with was MS, which is multiple sclerosis. I didn't accept the diagnosis. Oh my gosh. I didn't accept the diagnosis and continue my own research. One day I traveled home to visit my mom and I passed out, like completely blacked out. When I woke up, I felt the heaviness of this room. The vibrating stopped thereafter. A few years later, I had my first pregnancy and gave birth to a healthy baby. A few weeks into postpartum, I rushed into the emergency room with gut wrenching pain and was diagnosed with pancreatitis and gallstones. The doctor asked how long I had been living like this because it looked like I had them for years. I was confused because I had not experienced anything like it before, so it was news to me. All I knew was that I was in so much pain. It felt like I was still in labor. I just wanted the pain to stop. After being on a forced fast for 5 days in the hospital, I was able to have gallbladder removal surgery. I have healed well and pretty fast since then, and I am grateful for all these random and sudden health concerns because it has shown me how amazing the human body is. I also bring up these parts of my journey because people think Ascension is all love, light, rainbows, and sunshine, but Ascension is much deeper and unique for each of us. Some of us are collapsing deeply ingrained programs and density through our human bodies. So it may appear like chaos, sickness, or sudden miracles that purge and clear your vortex, expand your capacity for pain and what is possible. These are only a few elements of my journey that I'm sharing right now. And I feel ready to share because one, I rarely see anyone discussing what these energies are doing to their human body. And two, I have enough clarity on the big picture to know deeply that what I'm experiencing is indeed ascension. This has been so freeing for my beautiful mind that just wants to understand everything. If you're on an ascension path, document as much as you can. Audio, video, journal, you have many options. Share your story as you feel called to. There's no pressure with this at all. Trust me. I know. I was experiencing this in like 2022 and I didn't write this online until 2025 and now I'm finally making a video in 2026. So there are waves of people who may need to hear your story for clarity or confirmation very soon. I'm talking like this summer. So if you have stories like this, just know that you're not alone. And if you feel like you want to share, do it. Be brave. You got this. And I also want to let people know like breath work is something that can help you as you're feeling like almost anything, whether it's like having racing thoughts or emotions or like literally you feel a visceral experience like I did with the vibrating. Breath work and also grounding in nature, like I was saying in this that I wrote, how I would just when I was vibrating at work, I would just go outside and put my feet in the grass or stare at birds, stare at trees. Like nature is here for us to support us during this process. So this is just a reminder to utilize breath work and nature to help you with the process because I'm somebody who has been experiencing this for years and I didn't have much like direct support like how I'm doing right now. It was more of like me doing my own research, and luckily I was in AmeriCorps where they were training me in mindfulness and breathwork. So now I facilitate breathwork and meditations on my own. So yeah, that's all.